Hello everyone, this is Caden from Kaidengaming, bringing you another MechWarrior Online commentary. Now, PGI has recently done a good deal of balance changes, and I thought I'd make a video talking about them while I'm sort of pending for that blackjack video to get done, which I'm going to attempt to find the best blackjack setup. But yeah, they actually nerfed PPCs, for those of you who don't know, down from 3.0 firing speed to 4.0. They made it basically take 4 seconds before each shot instead of 3 seconds, if I understand correctly. While I'm mostly going to be focusing on PPCs in this video, I will kind of cover generally most of their balance changes and what I think of each one, because they did do quite a lot of balance changes. Now, well, I'll talk about that later. Let me finish what I was saying with the PPCs. So yeah, basically, the PPC change does not stop jump jet sniping and alpha striking, because PPCs still do the same amount of damage. You just have to wait 1 second more, which isn't really a big deal. It might affect you slightly, but it isn't a huge deal. Now, mind you, I haven't actually extensively tested PPCs yet. This is just sort of my first gut feeling from seeing the PPC change. Now, while you might say, oh, then that's bad, it just encourages alpha striking more and more. That's not the case, because really, I think this change was more to combat ER PPC snipers than PPC snipers, because with ER PPC snipers, they could do almost as much damage as an SRM brawler. When I say almost as much, I mean a good deal less, but more than they should. They could still be competitive if you played right up close. And really, snipers shouldn't be able to match a brawler up close because, well, you know, they're snipers. They can shoot from so much further and stuff like that. So yeah, with the slower cycling speed, it doesn't really change your sniping abilities that much, because really, I mean, it's 1 second difference, and usually that your target will move, you know, after your first volley or something like that, you know. I mean, occasionally it might affect you, but it's not really going to affect your sniping hugely. But mostly what it does is it keeps you from being as good up close. Or, in the event they're heading right at you, it keeps you from killing them before they get right up to you, which is also sometimes a problem, or used to be anyway. Because sometimes you could go up at a PPC sniper and, well, you just die before you even get up to them. And, yeah. So, at first I kind of freaked out about the change. I was like, this is kind of stupid. What is PGI thinking? Because, for those of you who don't know, I don't think too highly of their balancing. I mean, really. First they buff PPCs, now they nerf it. It really seems like they're being very unprofessional with their balancing, and they're just sort of doing whatever the community whines about on the latest day. Because PGI really needs to learn. People are going to whine no matter what you do. They're going to say, oh, the X is imbalanced, even if it's really just the meta swing. I mean, imagine if Blizzard for StarCraft 2, I mean, StarCraft 2 is a pretty competitive game. Imagine if every time the community whined, or every time there was a rash of something, they changed the game to combat that rash. Well, then you'd have Void Race changed all the time, Colossus changed, you know, all those different things. Now we're not here. Okay, let me go over here. So yeah, it looks like the enemy might actually just base cap us, which I hope not, because that would really derail my little discussion. But yeah. At first I didn't have very much faith in PGI's balance because, you know, I mean, they've been changing stuff all the time. It doesn't look that great to me. But when I actually thought about it, this actually seemed like a better idea rather than a bad one. So yeah, overall about the PPC change, I'm skeptical, but I kind of like it. I mean, PPCs needed a nerf one way or another. So yeah, it appears I was kind of stupid, didn't realize they were going to base cap us, which really is kind of stupid. I mean, why would you even base cap? You don't even get C-bills. Oh well. Anyway, I guess I'll have to continue this discussion in the next video. Hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll see you all in the next video. Hello everyone, and now I have returned so we can continue our discussion about PPCs, and hopefully leave behind that embarrassing defeat. I can't believe I let us get base capped. Oh, why is it when I'm casting I always get these games where I feel like I need to hit myself in the face and just quit MechWarrior and go play, like, I don't know, Preschool or Hello Kitty or something ridiculous like that. Oh, and I need to remember not to breathe in my mic. Yeah, I don't think people like hearing me breathe into my mic. But yeah, let me get back to talking about PPCs. So, anyway, I don't really remember where I was, but basically, I think the change is good, but I'm not really entirely sure about it because it sort of encourages Alpha Warrior Online. Pardon the term, I know a lot of people are a little sensitive whenever you say that term and kind of freak out, What I mean by that is it sort of encourages mechs to alpha. I'm not saying that the game is dominated by alphas, which I guess it sort of is in a way, but that's really another debate we shouldn't be having right now. But yeah, it sort of makes alphas a little stronger because, well, if you think about it, you go back to, way, way back. I'll ask you guys to head back in time with me and remember a patch which happened about, I don't remember how long ago. It was a decent amount of time. Anyway, if you remember that patch, it nerfed SRMs and LRMs, basically all missiles all around, I guess. So yeah, after those were nerfed, now we come to the present and they nerf PPCs, which, sort of turned out to be the next big thing. So overall, it feels like we're just going in a full circle. Everything's getting nerfed. Not that I have a problem with that. I mean, I think that's actually kind of good. Weapons used to deal too much damage. Mechs used to die too fast. To me, mechs don't really feel like, mechs. They sort of feel like infantry, which are really slow and sluggish, because they just die way too quickly. So I don't know if you guys share that thought, but that's sort of my opinion on the matter. Ooh. I can't believe I didn't hit that hunchback. That was so bad of me. But yeah, all around they've been nerfing weapons as a whole, so if they had have just lowered the damage of PPCs, it basically would have gone a full circle. Everything would be the same, just all damage ratios were lower. Except for the weapons which were already underpowered, like autocannons in general, machine guns, flamers, LBX. And speaking of that, they did actually buff some of those things, which I'll actually get to in a second. But yeah, all around instead of buffing the weak weapons, except for a few of the really, really weak weapons, it seems like mostly they've just sort of all around nerfed the strong weapons. Again, not that I have a problem with that, I actually think it's a really good idea. It's just kind of funny how that happened. But yeah, I think I'm getting a little bit off topic. Let me get back on topic. As a whole, I'm pretty pleased with the PPC change. I'm skeptical, but something needed to be done about PPCs, and I guess this works out. It really makes them a good deal less effective in a brawl. So yeah, I don't remember really all the changes. I know they made LRMs better, which a lot of people have actually been whining about, but really, I feel like the people which were whining about them just did not live back in my day, because LRMs are basically nothing compared to the LRMs of my day. I mean, I will deliberately tank LRM some of the time. They just do so little damage. I mean, you might say I'm bad, but I think all my subscribers would argue with you. Occasionally I do play badly, and I'll be the first to admit that, but I generally know what I'm talking about when I'm discussing things like this. And of course I say that just as I miss a PPC blast, which obviously really reinforces my statement, but you guys will just have to take my word for it, and I guess watch all my other videos if you're a newcomer. If you're not, you probably are like, Jodo, you don't have to justify yourself to us. We already know you're good or bad, I guess, if you think I'm bad, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, back on topic. While they did buff LRMs, they're not anywhere near OP. I wouldn't even call them really competitive right now. I mean, way back when they were definitely OP. I mean, few will argue with that. The thing is, they didn't really dominate the scene so much as some with no skill could use them to quite effect. I mean, I never had a problem, basically, with LRMs. I usually owned LRMers. But the problem was, I mean, with no skill, someone could get, like, 800 damage with LRMs, or with very little skill at any rate. While, I sort of had to play effectively to get that much damage with, say, a PPC sniper, although, actually, PPC snipers don't take as much skill as some other mechs. But they do take more skill than LRMs. The inherent problem for LRMs, in my opinion, is really you just sort of shoot them and watch them go. There's not really much skill involved. I mean, you can't have something which takes no skill be as effective as something which takes a lot of skill. And yet at the same time, I mean, you don't want a dumb weapon which is useless, so what do? I think sort of where they are at right now is pretty good. They're decent against mediums and lights. They don't do all that much damage to, oh, 1 second, guys, something came up. I'll just pause this recording. Alright, thanks for your patience, except, actually, that sort of just skipped by, so you didn't even get any weight. But yeah, as a whole, I'd say LRMs are kind of good where they're at. I mean, they're a little weak. They're good against mediums and lights, but they're kind of useless against assaults and heavies. Of course, I haven't really tested all these. Most of this is just sort of my first instinct after looking at the patch notes. I haven't done extensive testing, and I really hate to make public speeches before I do extensive testing, but, well, I guess I'll just go out on a limb and say they're okay, a little bit weak, but okay. And those people who say they're overpowered are just kind of stupid, in my opinion. Sorry if you are someone who thinks they're overpowered. But yeah, I would put one more video in this, but I think I'll just wrap it up quickly. Basically, machine guns got a buff, their damage is doubled, and they're still pathetic, basically. I don't think anything's going to change. They were so bad way back when. Slight damage buff isn't going to make them any better. And let's see, what else is there? Flamers got buffed, and LBX-10s got buffed, and I think a few other weapons. Basically, all the other weapons which I haven't mentioned, which got buffed, their buffs are just so minute. I mean, they were so weak anyway, nobody really cares about their buffs, and maybe I'm a little mean for saying that, but whatever. Hope you'll enjoyed this, and I'll see y'all next time. Those are just my views. They might not be right, but that's what I think. So yeah, I'll see y'all next time.